Welcome back people. Today we are gonna take a look at the best $1,000 gaming / mining PC that you can build. The way this PC is different than any other mining PC is because we choose quality components. Components that can be resold after you decide that you don't wanna mine anymore. And if it ever comes to that, you know that you will have better than average PC, even if its main purpose was only to mine bitcoins. So we're not gonna go for the 80GB hard drive or for 2GB of RAM or for anything that is lowest of the low, but it will work. We will go for the best we can in the budget that we have right now, and that budget is $1,000. So what did we choose for the motherboard? For the motherboard we go on the Intel side for the 1151 socket. It supports 6th and 7th generation of the Intel CPUs, but not the 8th that is currently the newest one. But that doesn't matter for us, because that's not the CPU that we want. So why did we choose this motherboard? Well, it's kinda special in its price range. It has 3 PCI Express slots, 2 are X1 and 1 X16. But as you know, for mining, X1 slot has more than enough bandwidth necessary. And of course you're not gonna be able to put GPUs in the X1 slot. You'll need something called GPU risers or PCI Express extenders. And the best thing is, it costs only $54, so we have a little bit more than $940 left. Next thing is CPU, and for CPU we choose G4560. It currently crushes competition on all sides, from gaming to encoding videos, and there is nothing else that we could even possibly consider in its price range. It has more than enough power for any mining task, and if at some point in your life you decide to sell it, it will be more than enough powerful for gaming. It can stably hold up to 100 FPS in almost any modern game. Next things are GPUs, and yes, GPUs, not just one. And since we have place for 3 GPUs on our motherboard, we're gonna go for the 3 GTX 160s 3GB models, with a total cost of $600. And these are not just some of the cheapest models that you can choose. These are overclocked out of the box with 2 fans and only 100 watts of TDP. So we will save a lot of the money on the power supply, since they will use only 300 watts total, with maybe 65 watts on the CPU side. To connect these 3 GPUs to the motherboard, we will have to use risers. Risers are pretty cheap, only about $10 per piece, but they are not reliable, so you should probably buy 1 or 2 more than you need. They can really easily break, as they did for me and for some of my other friends that do mining. So having 1 or 2 more just in case should be really a no-brainer for you. For the power supply we have chosen EVGA 500 watts version. You might think why only 500 watts, but we really don't need more than that. Because power supplies work the best when they are at about 80% efficiency. And that means that you get most out of them when they use 400 out of 500 watts. And that is exactly how much we're gonna use with our entire PC setup. And one more thing that you have to take a notice of is the amount of PCI Express connectors that you get. This power supply has 2 6+ 2 pin connectors, which are enough for the 4 GTX 160 3GB cards. And since we have only 3 of them, it will work without any problems. And later on we could connect even 1 more card, but we don't have place on our motherboard for it. But the power supply should hold without any problems. We could have gotten for maybe 1TB hard drive, but I believe it is a lot harder to sell a PC without an SSD. And that's why we went with almost the cheapest model that we can that is still reliable enough. And for the RAM we have Corsair Vengeance, 1 stick of 8GB RAM. Now on our motherboard we have place for 2 sticks of RAM, but we really don't want to populate both of them, because maybe at some day when you sell this PC, somebody else might want 2 16GB sticks, and if you populate it with 2 4GB sticks or maybe 2 8GB sticks, then they lose that option. And that's why we decided 1 8GB stick, which is more than enough for mining. And now the last thing on our list is PC case, and you're not gonna use this case for a mining PC. And the reason for that is because you can't fit 3 GPUs in one case connected with risers. They need space to breathe and to cool down. And the reason why I wanted this case is because it's really huge. And if somebody, let's say, buy this PC from you, and they don't want GTX 160s, they sell them, and then they decide to buy GTX 180 Ti or some other version that has the same size, they need to be able to fit it in. And those are all the parts that we need for our mining / gaming PC, and we didn't go over our budget of $1,000, and I really believe this is the best things that you can choose that have enough quality, compatibility, and that are in our price range. Now if you have any better ideas, what else should we choose, what should we switch, please let me know in the comments, and see you soon.